Hello everyone and welcome. This is Dawn. I hope you're having a great day. Today is going to start my Valentine series. I'll be making Valentine cards through the month of January to share with you, so I hope you enjoy them. For this card, I'm going to be using the Whimsy Stamps Connected Hearts frame die, the Lovely Word die, and I'll be using the love part of the word. I'll be using the Magnolia die to emboss with because I just love all the detail on this die and I thought it would make a great background. And then I'll use the Wild Weeds for accents. So let's get started. Believe it or not, this card is pretty quick and easy to make. The first thing I'm going to do is die cut the heart in the center of a piece of white cardstock. I cut to 5.5 by 4.25, and then I'm just going to tape it in place so it doesn't move around. And then I'm just going to run it through my die cut machine. I'm going to put the outline of the heart aside for later, and then I'm going to save the center of the heart for another project. Next, I'm going to take the Magnolia die and I'm going to place it over the piece of white cardstock with the heart cut out of it. I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water. This makes the cardstock a little bit more pliable so that it doesn't rip the paper from pressing down so hard when it goes through the die cut machine. Then I'm going to tape it in place because I want to make sure it doesn't move around at all when I emboss it. The sandwich I'm going to be using is for the Gemini Junior. I put a cutting plate down and then my embossing mat, and then I place the die face down, and then I put another cutting plate, and then I'm just going to run it through my die cut machine. Now I think it came out absolutely gorgeous. I just want to show you how nice the embossing came out. It looks just like I used an embossing folder, even though I didn't. I also want to point out you could emboss the paper first with the Magnolia die and then run it through the die cut machine, and this is what it would look like. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's a lot more flat looking. You can still see all the embossing. It just doesn't stand out as much. Both look really nice, but for this particular card, I was looking for a more embossed look. Then I just trim the cardstock down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I'll set both of these aside and I'll start making the alcohol ink background. This is the Tim Holtz air blower. I just love this tool when using alcohol inks. It works absolutely amazing. If you don't have one, no worries. You can just blow into a straw and you get the same effect. I'm going to use the alcohol pearl inks today. I did take a few different colors out to use, but I ended up only using the Deception color, and you'll see why when we get started. This is the alcohol blending solution. It helps to move the alcohol inks around, and you could use as much of this or as little of this as you want. I tend to use a lot of it. This is the Tim Holtz Yupo paper. It's made specifically for the alcohol inks. And the first thing I'm going to do is squirt some alcohol blending solution on my paper, and then make sure you really blend your alcohol inks before using them, especially the pearl ones. All the pearl accents tend to fall to the bottom of the bottle, so it has a little shaker inside of it to help you shake it up. I squirt some of the Deception color onto the paper, and then I just use my air blower to blow the colors all around. And I just keep adding the alcohol ink and the blending solution until my paper is completely covered. The best part about alcohol inks is you can't mess up. If you don't like how it came out, no worries. Just add more blending solution and more ink, and you can easily keep moving the ink around to the spots you don't like. Now, the reason I decided not to use any other colors was because once I started moving all the ink around, I got all different shades of pinks, and I liked how it looked, so I decided to only use the one color. But you can use however many colors you like. When I'm done, I'm going to set it aside to dry. It doesn't take very long to dry at all. I'm going to die cut some of the wild weeds from white cardstock. Now, I originally die cut only 3, but I ended up using about 5 of them. But you could use as many as you want. And then I'm just going to set them aside for now. And I'm going to die cut the word love from some black cardstock and some white cardstock. And I'm going to adhere the black love word over the white love word, and I'm going to offset it a little bit so that the white sticks out behind the black, and this will give it the look of having a little white shadow behind it. Next, I put foam tape on the back of the embossed background. I cut the alcohol background down to size to fit behind the heart, and then I adhere the embossed background on top of it. Now, when I went to put the outline of the heart inside the frame, I didn't like how low it was sitting inside the heart, so I ended up die cutting 5 more hearts, and then I adhered them all the outlines on top of each other. I had a total of 6, but you could use as many as you want. I decided that I liked the look of it being raised up so high above the background. Then I just adhere the heart in place. Then I lay out all of my leaves so that I know where I want them to go. I put the love word in the middle to make sure there's enough room for it. And then I adhere all the leaves in place. I just keep moving the leaves all around. For me, that was actually the hardest part of this card because I just couldn't decide where I wanted them to go. Then I'm going to adhere my card front to a piece of cardstock that I cut to 8.5 by 10, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. Then I just adhere the love sentiment in the middle of the heart, and that's it. I think this card came out elegant and it's very easy to make. Make sure to use a larger envelope if any of your leaves hang over the edge of the card. And that's going to complete my card for today. I want to thank you for joining me on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the card. Be sure to subscribe to the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out on any upcoming releases and great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for all their new releases. And as always, thanks for stopping by and have yourself a wonderful day.